Welcome back to Footballing with Ben Roethlisberger. I have a cold, and I'm sorry if my voice sounds like this, and I sniffle, and I sneeze. Sorry. Anyway, I'm Ben. This is Spence. I'd like to start this. We don't have much to talk about, well, other than the draft. I would like to start this episode off with a little special something that I'm going to open here. This is kind of for you. It's kind of for me.
Hey, it's a team sport.
It's kind of for Evan. It's kind of for the fans, for the family.
It's for the people.
I got this little box that came in the mail.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to get this thing out very carefully because it's in a special word.
Do you need it?
It's just a note. Just a little note. Just a little note from YouTube.
Is that from the YouTube?
It's from the YouTube. Let's see here.
Look at that
Spence,
thing.
I'd like you to hold this box real quick.
I can do that for you, champ.
Woo. So I'm going to open this thing. I'm going to hold it down here because I want to kind of like surprise
the
everybody.
Reveal.
This is the wide.
You want the what? You want tight?
Hey,
look at us.
This says, presented to Footballing with Ben Roethlisberger for passing 100,000 subscribers. Love, YouTube.
Thanks,
I
YouTube.
don't really say love, but I put it in there.
I think
so. This is for all of you fans, actually, family.
There you go.
Out there. Congratulations, my friend.
We did it, dog. Hey, look at us. Couple YouTubers.
Evan.
We're a couple YouTubers now.
Yeah, we'll find a real cool spot to put. Maybe I'll put this back here.
That's amazing.
Watch it fall.
We're gonna break. Well, order another one. Look at us. There we go. That looks good to me.
If Evan knocks it over, you can't hear me. If Evan knocks that over when he comes down and breaks it, wouldn't that just be like the most classic thing of all time? He would be devastated.
Look at us.
Anyway.
What a good way to start.
Yeah. I figured we need to pick the family up after they heard about my cold. They're going to be like, oh, He sounds terrible.
I'm like, don't worry. Just stare at that plaque over there.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, how you doing, Spence?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, good. I do not have a cold for like the first time all year.
That's nice.
Which is super tight. But I feel good. It's a happy, what day? Tuesday?
Today's Tuesday. Are you excited about the draft? How it happened?
I am excited about the draft.
A lot to talk about.
Yeah, so we got a lot, just general overview. Yeah. We're going to go over the draft. We're talking about it. You just got back in town.
Just got back in town.
Yep. We'll save that for the family dinner because that was super exciting.
It was.
But yeah, I mean, we can jump into a beer, but I'll say this. Mm-hmm. You know, as the weather's getting nicer, we do try to refresh your fridge here.
Yeah, it needs refreshed.
You know what I mean? Because it's just over the course of the year.
We should invite fans over to drink with it. No, that's probably local.
Your house, bud. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, those would go real quick, I'm sure.
They would.
But let's do the annual Footballing refresh. Pick a shelf, random shelf, and give me a number 1 through 4. So I'll go grab whatever beer that is.
So I'm just giving you number 1 through 4.
Number 1 through 4, and then
like people. This is okay. So family, this is genuinely. He did tell me we were going to do something like this, but he didn't tell me how or what we're going to do. So this is not planned.
No.
So I'm a little nervous because I am a little thirsty.
So unplanned is I don't even know. Okay, so let's do this: 1 through 4, and then 1 through 3. 2 numbers.
Okay, 1 through 4, and then 1 through 3. So my first one, I'll do. Behind door. This is like the Price is Right. Behind. Yep. I'll take door 1.
Ooh, good one.
Shelf 3. They said shelf 3, like shelf 1 through 4, and
shelf 3.
1 and 3.
Because there's 4 doors and 3 shelves.
Okay, 1 and 3.
All right, here we go.
All right,
here.
Oh boy, please.
You
say a little prayer.
You can spend some time. That might be a soda down there. I don't know.
Oh,
spend some time with the family,
and I'll soda. Or we just get the next closest one to it.
To a soda.
Say right or left. Please, Heavenly Father, don't let it be anything crazy. Stouts, no flavored peanut butter stuff.
Peanut butter stout.
Nothing
peanut
dark.
Butter jelly time.
I don't want to throw up for the fans on the very first day after the draft. I pray that this is a good beer. Please be a Brendan Conley special, which would be a fruity, light drink.
With glitter.
With glitter.
All right, so.
Okay.
Now, these are going to be some that we've done before.
Yeah, this is truly random, folks.
Yeah, so this one's a little dusty. But I figured we'd kick the door in today.
Okay.
All right.
This is almost like the draft in a way.
Yeah.
Like we're just kind of randomly picking. Right. Like some teams it feels like they just randomly, let me pick a number. But I think the Steelers did a good job this year. I think that and obviously we'll get into it. I think as a general overview of the draft, I don't personally believe that there are reaches. You know, like kind of like that what was that? That pick feels like it was just
You mean Pittsburgh?
Yeah, for the Steelers.
Yeah.
There were some reaches out there in general.
For sure.
I think that there were I just felt like they addressed needs.
Yep.
We talked on this show about going D-line. Love the D-line pick that they went with. I know there was some concern about a shoulder thing, but I love them going there. So I don't think there were reaches. I don't think there were blind dart throws this year, not by the Steelers. Not that they've done them in the past. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that like that. I just feel like they really I like the picks, so we can get into it.
Yeah, we're going to dive in.
What am I doing?
Well, with the first pick of the 2025 football and draft, we are looking at Florida Man. It's a double India Pale Ale from Cigar City Brewing out of Tampa, Florida. Unpredictable, it says.
No, it's not. It's predictable because it's going to be good.
I think we definitely done this one. I always try to get a couple.
It's delightful.
Yeah, I try to get a couple Cigar City beers in front of you here because I'm a big fan of Cigar City Brewing. Loyal to my hometown. They don't make bad beers and they don't make bad cans. Look at that, bud. That is a nice looking can.
Is that like the boardwalk on the bottom, or is that a gator?
That's a gator, baby. See? Florida man's out there handling business.
See,
wrestling them. You know what I mean?
Speaking of gators, shout out Pounce.
Just
because I love you. just because I thought of you.
Speaking of gators, you know what, Pouncey, love you, bud.
Both Pounceys. More you though, Pounce, and less you, Mike. More Pounce. Anyway,
they're both
Pounce, but Pounce knows who Pounce is, and Mike's Mike, and Pounce is Pounce.
But all of Mike's teammates called him Pounce.
Probably, but he's not my Pounce.
Yeah, my Pounce.
My Pounce.
Yeah. You got to do what you do. Yeah. All right, man. So talking about the draft, let's dive right into it because it was crazy. It was a crazy weekend.
It was.
Like you said, I'm very happy. I was talking to the resident Yinzer on staff here at Footballin' and Evan's up there. And
can't wait to get his feel on this. I know he's going to be passionate. We've talked a little bit about it too, but it's going to be good to get some stuff.
Yes, so that will come later on. Super stoked on that. I agree with your previous statement. I felt good about it, man. I thought first round, awesome. That dude seems like he's going to be a great fit. I did think they addressed a lot of concerns with stopping the run, which I thought was a big deal. But the more thing that stood out to me as I'm looking across the board is it feels like these picks are conscious effort to reinstitute the physicality that Pittsburgh is known for.
It's funny you say that because I was going to say, we talked about this and you mentioned it, and I thought it was a good point. I'll echo that. I think that this draft feels like you say, no, we maybe haven't been physical at stopping the run. Let's address that. We went D tackle first. We went edge rusher the third pick, fourth round. We went nose tackle. We went line. We went heavy defense. Let's stop the run. Let's show physicality. You mentioned it too before this. DK Metcalf, big, strong, physical receiver.
Yep.
So yeah, I love it. Even the fact of going with the guy that I thought, which I'm glad they got him late in the sixth round or the sixth pick, whatever it was Will Howard, the quarterback.
Yes. Yep.
Physical, big, strong quarterback. They've been calling him Ben 2.0.
Oh.
That's what I heard. That's what Evan said at least. But you know what? You've got a big physical guy there too.
Yep.
So I agree with you. Going that route. I think the first, and I do have my notes here because I don't want to screw anything up with some of these names. I wasn't paying that close attention because, as you said, I was out of town, kind of just checking my phone. But Derrick Harmon, the defensive tackle, I thought something just fell. It got shiny in my eye real quick. I think this is a great pick. We talked about it on here. That's the spot. I know they talked about quarterback, and there was a lot of Shadeur Sanders talk, which we can, get into that whole, what happened there. But to me, yes, the Steelers, there's some quarterback need there, but that wasn't the most dire need. So I think that would have been, we talk about them not reaching. I think that would have been a reach in the first round there personally. Because I think that you have a guy in Mason and I think they're still waiting on Aaron. I think they can, I was saying, get Will Howard a little bit later. I think going D tackle to, we don't know how much Cam has left in the tank. He played great last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he played lights out. Could he do that again this year? Sure.
Yeah.
But we all know, and I'm sure Cam will be the first to tell you too, that he's closer to the back end than he is the front end, obviously.
Sure.
So, just like I always think it's important to have a quarterback come in and learn under a veteran guy for draft a guy in the first round and let him sit for a couple years behind a veteran quarterback. It helped me. It helped Aaron Rodgers. It's helped other quarterbacks and they don't have to get thrown into the fire right away.
Yeah.
Not saying this guy's not going to play this year. He's going to play. But he gets to learn how to be a Steeler behind Cam Hayward. Cam Hayward is still in that Steeler mentality, that toughness, that work hard, do what it takes to win and be grimy and that Steeler way. He's going to get to learn behind Cam for a couple years. I think that's great. I think that's great for Derrick. I think it's great for Cam to have someone behind him that he can mentor and pass down the Steeler way to. So I think great pick. Again, I heard some rumblings about a shoulder issue. I don't know, obviously, if the doctors cleared him, they feel comfortable with it. He said that he's ready to go, and I don't think there'll be any issues. But I think he's a run stopper. He's physical in the pass rush game too. So I'm really excited about this pick. I feel too. It just came to me. I feel like we need to talk about too. Did you hear about his mother?
Yes, I did.
That was unbelievable. Yeah. We prayed for him. I was at this amazing event in Canada this weekend, and I told a couple people that, and everyone I think just kind of prayed for him and his family. So, Derrick, man, just from the football and family, big love, man. A lot of prayers to you, man. I know that you're going to have some extra motivation now coming in here, and so it's your story to write, brother. So, but we're excited for him. Don't mean to bring it down, but we're excited for him and what he's going to bring to this team in this defense. I can't wait.
Yeah, man. And I think going round 3, obviously our second round, we got DK, is in the DK trade. Round 3, they go.
DK is a good second round pick for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But, Kaleb Johnson out of Iowa. And third round, you had talked about not getting a running back early, but you were talking maybe for second round running back.
Yeah, the third. I don't know much about this guy. Okay. I do know he's physical. I know he's big. 6'1", 224. I think that he's the physicality that you need to kind of balance the attack. Okay. Right. He'll be the kind of the third. He won't be the third back. There's 3 backs now that all have Jalen's got a little bit of speed to him, a little wiggle. I think this guy's got the physicality that kind of gives you a balanced running attack.
Sure.
So I'll be excited to see what he can do. Again, I'm self-admit I had not watched him on film, don't know much about him. I do know he's, I knock on some wood somehow, but I heard he's not a fumbler. Like they said something like he's only fumbled like 1, 2, 3 times in college, like some sort of crazy, really? Like he's known to be ball security guy.
My guy.
So that's great for like your short yardage, your goal line type stuff. So I think that was I don't want to say it was a reach. Mm-hmm. It might have been early, but if he's a guy that you knew you need to fill, you need another running back.
Right.
And that's a guy that you had key on your board because you want that physicality. Now, would it have been a reach to go get like a scat back, like a guy that's like a little shifty third down, kind of let's catch the ball in the backfield? Sure. Maybe, because that's what I like what Jalen does with that.
Sure.
So I think that having Kaleb Johnson coming in here is kind of your to fix this 3-man rotation running back, I think could be really cool to watch.
Yeah, man. Similar, I didn't know much about him going into it. Some of the highlights I've seen after the fact, I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch some of that. I'll have to see.
Obviously, 4th round, we pick up Jack Sawyer.
Yes, Captain Jack. Do we have to call him Captain Jack? I wonder if he's
got to
earn that, don't we?
But if we don't, though,
okay.
like, you know what I mean? Yeah, Ohio State.
Yes.
Animal.
Loved this pick.
Something that has been, I've heard in a lot of the post-draft interviews is the front office is using the phrase Steeler DNA. Yeah. Right? This guy has Steeler DNA. They're looking for people with Steeler. And I think the draft is indicative of this. I mean, you got defense, and a running back. You know what I mean? In the first six.
And a big quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on Jack Sawyer?
I really liked when this pick came. I almost forgot about him. It wasn't like I was thinking about that guy specifically. But when the pick came up, I'm like, yeah, that's a good pick. Like he feels like a guy that is like a big play guy, right? He makes the play in the bowl game. It was either an interception or a sack fumble. He picked up scoop score.
Yeah.
I mean, just a guy that seems physical, seems like a guy that, how awesome, again, is it going to be for him to learn behind TJ and Alex?
Yeah.
I mean, so now you got a guy that gets to rotate in. He gets to learn behind one of the greatest, if not one of the greatest rush ends of all time.
Right.
I just think that this is an awesome pick. Seems like a guy that is going to just come in, work. I don't know anything about him, but just seems like when you watch him on the sideline of the college games, seems like everyone loves him. I know him and Will Howard, I think, were they roommates or there's some sort of thing where they're boys. Yeah. But it just seemed like everyone was always like, that's our dude. Like, when you can get I assume they called him Captain Jack because he was the captain too.
Sure.
I mean, I know that's part of the song too, but like when you can get whether he's a captain or not, but he seems and plays like a captain of a team, a national championship team, defense, a defense that prides itself like the Ohio State Buckeyes. It just feels right.
Sure.
It feels like a guy that is going to be a Steeler and be doing things the Steeler way. I love this pick. Now, obviously, again, all these picks, anything could happen.
Sure.
Right? We know that. I mean, they could be busts. They could be Hall of Famers. You never know. But in terms of where we sit right now, really, really like Jack Sawyer pick.
Yeah, I like getting depth on that, that position as well, man. I'm excited to see. I just want to see these guys play now. That's the hard thing with the draft is you get all these guys and you have to wait to see. I'm excited to see that. It is interesting. Again, because I'm ignorant to a lot of these things as far as the college football game goes, but it seems like certain schools specialize in certain aspects of the game, right? We have a couple Hawkeyes, a couple Buckeyes. You know what I mean? Like
Big Ten football, known for physical, running the ball, playing defense.
Yeah. So moving on, round 5, pick 164, Y.A. Black out of Iowa. Another defensive lineman, man.
YA, that's how you say it?
I believe so.
I was going to say yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, sorry, brother, if I mispronounced it.
YA.
I believe that's
Apologies. I truly don't know. I'm going with yours. Yours sounds a lot better than mine.
I'm just repeating whatever they said at the draft.
Oh, that's probably right. Unless Rodgers said it. You never know.
You mean Roger Goodell? Not
oh yeah,
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah.
What if Aaron Rodgers came out? What if Aaron Rodgers came out and announced the 5th round pick?
Better if you'd done the 6th one. That'd been hilarious.
That'd have been hilarious.
Mr. Black.
Mr. Black.
Nose tackle, Iowa. Know nothing about him, but I assume he's a run stopper. Got to have him.
Yep.
Got to have him.
Yeah.
That's literally all I have to say.
Hey,
I have nothing else.
Well, and that thing, it's interesting too, man. Like you get these cats, you get hype on. You go back. I feel like every Yinzer's now watching tape on all the new cats that are coming onto the team, and you get excited about it, man. So, but like you said, we've seen in recent years, like how is that going to transition to the league? There's a couple guys in last year's draft we still haven't even seen play.
Yeah,
whether it be injury or whatever, So I am excited again, just overall. What I felt like the mindset of this draft was going to do. I do feel like the head office has gotten a lot of flack, and I probably have contributed to it in the past year or so. But I think to watch how they decided to draft this year was extreme. I feel like they're like, stay the course. Stick to the plan, stay the course. We know what we're going to do. So that's reassuring before we go into the 6th round pick here. We're talking about Will Howard. I know you got some stuff to say about that. Do you want to jump into another beverage? You want to go straight into Will Howard?
I would like to start by telling Bart to stop texting us because we're doing a show.
You know the problem? You get Bart in the episode one time, and he tried to get on every episode.
Takes over every episode. Bart, stop texting us. You know we're doing the episode right now.
He took over. He took over
Unbelievable.
Walker's episode. Yeah.
Just typical Bart. All about Bart. I don't care.
Let's do Will. Let's just talk about Will.
Okay.
All right.
Really excited about this pick. Don't know him. Heard some really good things about him. I just saw the clip that has been going. I guess it's been going around. I'm so late to the everything social media that about the hey rookie or welcome to the draft or where he got the call and all that with his family, jumped in the pool. You see tears coming down his face. I mean, to me, that's a love of the game. Not caring where you're getting drafted, not caring what round you're getting drafted, being excited to get to the NFL. I think that is what you want. You want a guy that wants to be here and just is like, listen, it doesn't matter where I go. Just let me go.
Yeah.
Which I think too, I'll go on a little bit of a soapbox tangent here. I think that's one of the issues with the NIL, as we talk about that. I think, and maybe teams now are starting to take that into consideration before they draft, is does the person truly love the game of football? Or are they just doing it to make money?
Sure.
It's a difference. Some guys can come in and just be like, hey, this is my job. I'm just going to go do it. Some guys, you got to love it because you got to love it because from Monday to Saturday is work. Sunday's fun. You got to love this game because of what it puts you through. And so I wonder if that's why some people, don't get drafted at certain spots. They fall, whatever. Is there a love for the game? And again, some of these guys are making a lot of money in college and they're going to take a pay cut to come to the NFL. So it's like, some guys are like, listen, I'm out here making this money. I don't need to love the game. I'm making money regardless, But anyway, my point in saying that is it looked like Will Howard loves the game of football. Tears down his eyes. Yeah. I had said on this show that I would have liked the Steelers to draft him.
Yeah.
I think that he is big. He's physical. I think he's got something that just that shows me, I talked about it here, I'll say it again, when he played Oregon early in the season and he slid and basically lost the game. I'll say it. He lost the game. And if we get Will on the show, I would love to talk about this. And I'll say you slid, you lost the game. What was going through your mind as soon as that happened? Sure. Because I was watching the game. I was going through my mind. I was like, oh no, that poor kid, like he feels it. And I've been there. I've thrown an interception at the end of the game when you were leading and you didn't need to, or done some sort of a bonehead play. It just happens. You're a competitor. You don't, it's hard to keep everything perfect all the time.
Yeah.
But what I said, and I stand by this, is he didn't let it keep him down. He probably was in that locker room beating himself up like, guys, I just lost this the national championship. I just lost it, but they never lost again.
Michigan.
Oh, they lost to Michigan. You're right. Again.
Well, they don't count that one either.
That doesn't. They went on and won a national championship. Yeah. They beat some unbelievable football teams. And he played what I thought was really good football. So what did he do when he made a mistake? He learned from it. He bounced back when he could have just crumbled and went underground. So I love that part. I love that that competitor. I love again, don't know him, but just what I've seen and what he ends up doing. There was someone I heard there was a knock. Well, he played with a bunch of NFL caliber talent. Well, what's he going to be playing with now? Who did he beat NFL caliber talent teams to?
Right.
It's just that's the most ridiculous remark I've ever heard. I don't even know who made it.
That's a wild claim to take away from an individual's success.
I know. I don't know why.
Because his team was good. I'm like, it's a team sport, brother. What you talking about?
So I do like this pick. I don't think Benjamin asked me yesterday, did you think he's going to come start? I don't think he's going to be day one starter. I think it's going to be Mason unless Aaron comes in. I think then that obviously throws a wrinkle. I don't know. I wonder too. My question is going to be, what does this do to the Aaron Rodgers?
I was going to ask you that.
I don't know. I think it would be. Part of me is like, man, it would be probably good for Will if Rodgers came because he could sit behind a guy that is Hall of Famer and learn. Would Aaron be willing to help? I don't know. Would Mason help teach him? And because it is hard sometimes when you're a guy that there's a guy breathing down my neck. I don't think Will's going to be a day one guy unless he just comes in and surprises everybody. But I don't think he has to be a day one guy. You draft him in the sixth round.
Yeah.
It's kind of like okay, well, whatever. Like if he works great, if he doesn't, he's a sixth rounder. There's been some pretty good ones that have come late rounds. Tom Brady,
one that I can think of.
And no, I'm not trying to say Will Howard's Tom Brady, but I like this pick. I like what he's going to bring. I can't wait to go see him in person. I'd love to get him on this show.
Yeah.
Would love to sit down here, talk to him, and size him up a little bit. Or he's a big dude.
Yeah.
So I think this was a great pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I was super stoked on it. Obviously for the position, but also because of the person they picked. But you're talking quarterbacks, talking Aaron Rodgers watch, right? At what point in time are you able to get Will in to see how he responds with the team? And does that influence your decision on waiting for Aaron or pursuing him at all? Like, can you get Will in next week and just like, hey man, throw with some guy, like run a couple things?
Yeah, I forget the rules, like in terms of when they're allowed to come do stuff. It'll be interesting to see for him if he comes like the first day it's available, or does he going to come in early, just to be here, be around the facility, do some things, get acclimated to the city. Because I don't know, where is he from originally?
Westchester, I believe. I think he's a PA guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that Philly, Westchester?
Kind of
over that way. Okay,
that direction.
But I would love to see. My advice to him would be get here, as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Start being prepare like you're going to be the guy, without trying to step on other quarterbacks' toes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, this is yours, Mason. This is yours, Aaron. Whoever it is. But preparing in your mind and outside of that, like, no, I'm fighting to get this job. Because if it's like, okay, the first day that you can come in is June 1st, and he comes in June 1st, great. He's here when he's supposed to be. And that's going to be a voluntary type thing, not mandatory. But I'd love to see him here early. Sure. Like, how cool would it be to have him in town a little bit, just get to lay the city, being at a Bucco game or something, like little things like that, like just really embracing the city, because then the city's going to embrace him
for sure,
and it's just going to give him confidence going into the season.
I mean, I can't imagine any of the guys getting drafted by these cities teams wouldn't want to. I feel like you're like, yo, let me start my job. I've been waiting for this job my whole life. But to your point, to come in and acclimate to it, to like, okay, this is me now.
But that's a smart thing to do. But guys don't always do it because they're like they're training elsewhere, which I get. Sure. You're training at others. Your trainer is in Arizona, Florida, California, wherever it is. So you want to keep training. You want to throw with guys there. And that's okay to do, but I love coming in here maybe on the weekends or, whatever it is, just to kind of, come in here and do footballing. I mean, how much more sense does that make?
We're in Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Fun thing about Pittsburgh, things to do this weekend in Pittsburgh.
Footballing.
Be on footballing.
That's, I think it's a good pick. I'm excited for it, and I'm excited to see, again, do I expect to see him this year? Probably not, and that's okay.
You'll see him in the preseason. People lose their minds, right?
See in the preseason. And you know what? There's no pressure. He needs to understand, and I would tell him this. You don't have pressure, bud. Yeah. You are the 6th rounder. There's no pressure.
But I mean, at what point are you like, I might have gotten chosen the 6th round, but I got a chip on my shoulder. Like there's a greatness. No one's going to the league and getting drafted thinking, all right, cool, man, I'm gonna be a journeyman.
No. But that's what I'm saying. He should go into this thing with like, I can play free.
Oh yeah.
I have no pressure. Now, I absolutely think, like I just said, he should come in here with the mindset of, I'm going to this is my job. Sure. I want to be the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers for the next 15, 18, 20 years. Yeah. That should be his mentality. Now, I hope, and I would tell him to do it the right way. Sure. Do it like Charlie Batch did, like Bruce Gradkowski, like Byron Leftwich, like Landry, some of those guys that came in that were like, listen, I'm going, what can I do, Ben? How can I help you? How can I prepare you to be the starter, to be ready to play? Okay, you're good. Okay, you're good. I'm going to go now, do my thing and get myself prepared, study, work, da-da-da. You need anything? Okay, I'm back to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the proper way, and then let it naturally. Sure. It'll naturally unfold itself. If you're out here preparing yourself and you're not trying to undermine the starter and cut his legs out and this, that, and the other, but you just naturally are doing things right, and the team seeing you working and the team seeing you build up the starter, who are, again, the hard part is we don't even know who the starter is right now. Yeah. But if you're building that up and you're helping culminate that starter into helping the team win, and all of a sudden you're performing a little better in practice, and it's like, okay, now go ahead and get your shot with the ones, and it's good, and you're being a good teammate, and you're still high-fiving the other quarterback, and then all of a sudden it's like, get another series with the ones. You know what I'm saying? Just let it happen.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And at what point is like, I'm curious on what impact this has on the Aaron saga, because from everything that we've heard is like, hey, we're still that's still kind of on the table. Right. And we're like, oh, maybe it's the draft. It's deadline by draft. I need to know because they could draft. Not. And then that didn't pass. So, what is it? At this point in time, if you're in the front office, you're like, okay, man, whatever, we have our team. Aaron can just whatever. Or is it like, no, we're still holding out, trying to build that around.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know what this does. I mean, I assume they would still take Aaron, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think because you drafted him in the 6th, all of a sudden you're like, okay, we're done.
Sure.
I think if you would have drafted a guy like in the 1st or you're try to trade up in the 2nd round, then that might make you feel differently. But I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know what it's going to do to the Rodgers pursuit. At some point, though, they need to set a deadline because at some point, Aaron needs to start learning the offense. I mean, get with the guys. Yeah. So what is that cutoff date? I don't know. Only Coach Tomlin and Mr. Rooney and Omar know that. Because
I know he's come out and said, like, I'm processing. There's a lot of stuff. The season of life that he's in, there's a lot of stuff to weigh. I'm not just going to, make this decision, shooting from the hip, which I can respect that. But to your point, like at some point in time, you're coming in and if whether you play or you don't play, you're going to be affecting 53 other men's jobs. Yeah. Right. So it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Like at what point in time is it like, hey man, never mind. Hey, we're here, but it's too late.
I know.
Is that an option? Like, hey,
at some point,
here's the deadline. It passed, but then you come back and you're like, hey, I never mind. I want to play.
Forces. I mean, I don't know. I truly don't know. I don't know. This is.
You can call.
Yeah. I don't know what that looks like, to be honest with you. I truly don't. Like, at some point, you have to say it's what's best for our team is to just probably move on.
Sure.
And that might sound crazy because it's Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
But at some point, like you start questioning, like, does Aaron really want to play?
Right. And if you got the talent, like if you get Mason in there, I think Mason's very capable, and you get Will here, and you're like, yo, he's actually got more in the tank than I thought.
Yeah.
We could be good.
Well, you've got. And the other thing that we didn't talk, I love the Robert Woods signing.
Yeah.
I know he's 33, but he adds depth. He has a veteran presence there as well. 1 year deal. I don't think that hurts anything. I think that's a good signee that can help a younger quarterback too. Yeah. Mason, Will, whoever it is.
Yeah. And I would say, just as a football fan, I don't know necessarily if it's in Pittsburgh, but I'd like to see Aaron play another year. I think the year in New York didn't pan out how you would hope somebody of that caliber would like ride off into the sunset, So I'd love to see, just because of his, it's a generational talent, man. It's like your guys' era, like look, that's the end of it for us, man, that grew up with that. Like, yeah,
I'd like to see him play as long as he's like more like Aaron Rodgers and not,
sure,
you never want to see your hero go out there and he's never going to embarrass himself, but you don't want to be like, man, he's a shell of himself.
Yeah, and he's still got, from what I've seen,
I know. Listen, the arm's never going to be gone.
Right.
He's got the arm talent forever.
Yeah.
But I just don't. You don't want to see.
You don't see him get beat up out there.
Yeah, I don't want to see like, man, that's just not the Aaron we remember.
Yeah.
I want to, and I'm not saying that's going to happen. I don't want to see that, because I agree with you. I respect that man. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is a truly generational talent, and so I would love to see him go out there and play. I'd love to see him play in the black and gold. I'd love to see that ball go down the field like I know he can do it.
Right.
But I just want to make, if he does, I for my own personal sake, I just don't want to see him like just get beat up and not be Aaron that we love and that we've respected and come to know over all these years.
Sure. No, I totally get that. So, all right, let's grab another one of these drinks.
Please.
And then I want to talk about quarterback situation.
Okay.
A AFC North quarterback situation.
Okay.
Because I think Cleveland's collecting them like they're Pokemon, bro. You know what I mean? Like they got all them quarterbacks. Yeah. So 1 through 4, 1 through 3.
Let's do 3-1.
3-1. Are you eyeing it? Are you trying to pick up?
I actually tried not to look. I wanted to look, and I felt like that was going to be cheating. And I was going to have to be like, I cheated, and I didn't.
Hey, you're going to win fair and square.
Yeah, I know. Something to do.
All right, here you go.
I'm going to finish out these last 2 picks. So we down the 7th round. Carson, I think Bruner, linebacker out of Washington. Don't know anything about him, but congratulations. That's Mark Bruners?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Would you say 3-1?
Oh, yeah, 3-1. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, that's cool. That's an awesome thing. Then I'm rooting for him. Not that I wasn't rooting for him anyway, but that's awesome. And then it looks like Dante Kent, a cornerback out of Central Michigan. Got to be good because he's from the MAC. Yeah. So anyway, no, that's congratulations to those guys, all the draft guys, and then obviously the guys that got signed. A big shout out too. I texted him to congratulate him, not just on the draft. I sent Coach Tomlin text. I said, Coach, congrats on the draft. Obviously, a big deal. I said, but even more so as a man and father, because your son got picked up in the NFL, and that's got to be a really cool thing to see. So congratulations, Coach Tomlin, Dino. That's really, really kind of not even kind of cool. It's a really cool thing. That's
super cool. Congrats, Coach T.
Yeah. Do we play Tampa at all in the preseason or anything? I don't know. Not in the regular season, but
I feel like I would have known.
How cool would that be?
He got picked up by Tampa?
I think it's Tampa.
No way.
Yeah.
That's got to be even.
Mike's guys down there. That's a great help.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to think.
Oh,
you used to coach. Like,
I know, it's unbelievable.
Got his first ring there.
So that'd be a fun preseason game, wouldn't it?
Oh, dude, you kidding me?
So
this beer is from Trogs.
Oh.
You know what? I did you get a little bit dirty because there was a banquet on that shelf, and I said like Jurassic Park. I got to the old freaky squeeze. This is literally called Freaky Squeeze from Trogs. It's bright.
Choice of a manly banquet.
Is that our pumpkin lager?
To a
kind of man you are.
To a Justin Brendan.
Yeah, this is bright, fruity, refreshing, Freaky Squeeze.
Oh, it smells
This
really
is
good,
spiked black cherry lemonade.
Oh, come on now. That's going to be delightful.
I know, it is going to be good.
It's not a beer, though. Is it like a sour? Or is it a seltzer?
This is a spiked black cherry limeade. That's all that is.
Oh.
You love that.
So
you
good.
love that.
It's so good.
Because it's pink and bubbly.
It tastes like a seltzer water. Like, what?
Does
How
it?
much is in that? 5.5? No, get out of here.
Buddy, that's an all-dayer, huh? That's an all-dayer.
That's...
Cancel my plans. That's
so good.
The old Freaky Squeeze, bro.
So good. Spiked black cherry limeade.
That backfired,
That
man.
sounds like a Sonic.
It does.
Like
Was
a
it,
Sonic.
you got the crushed ice?
I love
Hey,
Sonic cherry lime.
Yeah, family. Can we just agree that Sonic single-handedly has the best ice
Absolutely.
of any fast food restaurant?
Absolutely.
Or sit-down restaurant,
Love
for
it.
that matter.
Trogs, and I'm gonna have to listen.
Trogs is
As a man,
yeah,
I know when to apologize, and I know I make fun of Brendan for always liking his fruity drinks.
but he might be on something.
This is really good. I don't like all fruity drinks, but when I drink fruity drinks, this one's good.
I get the freaky squeeze. Yeah, Trogs is for real, man.
cow.
The Troganator. Yeah.
This is like at the pool, at the lake,
This is. Were you
on
surprised?
ice.
Because I mean, you're singing the praises of this. It's
on ice, because it tastes like a like it doesn't. It just tastes like a cherry limeade. Which who doesn't like a cherry limeade?
if you don't, I don't trust
It's a
you
black
as a
cherry
person.
limeade.
Spiked black cherry smells delicious.
It is delightful.
Yeah. You want me to just get you a straw?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I mean,
I'm going to finish this.
5%, brother. You good?
It's good, like a like a little workout. Got done working out. It's like let me.
right. All right.
Okay, sorry. Ooh,
So you have something great over there. Let's talk about something less great.
the Cleveland Browns.
The Browns.
Okay.
Cleveland Browns, man. All right. So there's a couple things to talk about with the Browns.
They have so many quarterbacks. I'm not throwing my name in the hat.
All right. Well, that's what's so
A
obviously.
couple more wins. Go back to being the winningest quarterback. There.
So this is they obviously draft Shadeur, and we can talk about that. But when they're making that call in the fifth round, like, is that something that you get a call for? Like, do they consult the owner at that point, or is that something
I was going, but I was out of the country.
they can reach you?
Yeah, so they couldn't get me.
They don't. Browns don't have international calling plan.
They don't. They.
I just didn't know if they brought owners in on that.
They lost that international calling plan with all that money they gave to Sean.
Oh, that's what it was. Between him and Miles,
Lost it all.
they're on the pay. They got burner phones. They're making those calls
Little
on Metro
Flip
PCS.
phones.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about the quarterback room first or the Shadeur?
Do we have enough time? Because there's like 5 quarterbacks on roster right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I mean, how do we have time to talk?
Okay,
about all
so-
this is
so-
a 1 hour show.
All right. So Joey Flack. I thought you
Respect.
should just go out the door with him.
Yep. Stay
Very
there with-
proven. He's awesome. Kenny Pickett.
Yep.
Valid option.
Didn't pick up his 5th year option though, which but whatever.
It's
Yeah,
business.
Super Bowl
It's-
champion.
It's business. Super Bowl champion. You got Deshaun floating around there somewhere.
Is he still hurt again? I thought something. Who knows? Okay.
I don't know. But he's there.
He's probably he's getting paid more than all of them combined. By the way, obviously, by far.
Y'all need me?
By
You good?
far, no. Okay,
All right.
I'll be over here.
I'm cool, man.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yes.
All right. No, you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Good. I'm sit over here.
Right. And they picked up Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel, right?
Dylan Gabriel.
Oregon.
Yeah, which I thought good quarterback.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Shedeur Sanders. They're clearly in the hunt for the next franchise guy. They're hoping Joe just kind of teaches class there for a little bit, right? They have a viable,
smart.
hey, if, Joe's not there, we have a quasi-veteran presence with Kenny, right? He knows what championship culture looks like.
Yeah.
He's, viable options. Played in the AFC North, gets it. And then you got 2 young bucks that you're like rolling the dice on. What's the move here?
I don't know. It's just the Browns. That's what they do. Excuse me. I thought maybe that they would, after when they drafted Gabriel, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
good quarterback, no problem with that. And then they went with Sanders. I'm like, I am so confused at what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like what? Like I just don't get it. And that's why I'm not in the ownership. Well, I am in the ownership of the Browns, but not in the manager GM business with them. I thought maybe they try to do it for like trade.
Yeah. That was my thought. Some trade capital, right? Got some-
I don't know what's going on. Or were they just doing it because they got flack for not taking them earlier? We'll make up for it in the back end, which I don't know what kind of flack they got, but I'm just saying because I'm so confused.
Or this is just I'm making this up in the moment. What if it was like a concerted effort and then it was the only team to take him because Prime said a bunch of years ago that's the only team they're not going to?
Well, I think that genuinely had some effect on his slide.
Sure.
Is his dad saying there's teams we're not going to go to. I will not let my son play for, and the Browns were one of them.
You're right.
That's just not. It's not helpful, to be honest.
I would imagine when interviewing for positions at a job.
I don't know what they're doing. There's that big like long running joke in Cleveland where they like all the quarterbacks they've had since like whatever, and they just wanted to add 5 more to it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They might hit the high score.
It's a very interesting pick. I guess you got 2 guys that can compete. In Gabriel and Shedeur and battle it out, see who's better, and maybe try and trade one. It's a very interesting thing. I don't understand what they're doing. At the end of the day, they're not gonna keep 5 of them. Are they gonna put Shedeur in practice squad? Maybe it's practice squad, just see what he's got.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can do. It's one of the most mind-boggling things that I've seen in a while. Again, it just feels like they were doing it out of a favor. I don't know, because why? I'm not saying drafting him was wrong, but why are you doing it right after you drafted another quarterback in the same draft?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
If you added, again, I'm going to say this, it's not about adding Shedeur Sanders to your team, to your roster. And even if they had 4 other quarterbacks and Shedeur came as the 5th, like 4 like veteran guy, other guys, not drafted, and you added Shedeur as your 5th, I'd be like, okay, they just want to see what he can do. But I don't understand why you're adding a guy in the same draft of the same position. That's what doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff.
I don't get that.
Doesn't make sense to me. I thought that was interesting. Obviously, there was the whole draft was kind of eclipsed by his stock falling day
That's
after
what the
day.
crazy thing was, is the draft turned into
Shedeur watch.
Yes.
Which was unfortunate, man, because I understand. Listen, Shadeur's a good talent. You know what I mean? The hard thing is I think his talent gets eclipsed by this stigma of the watches, hella cameras, the shtick. But again, your prime son, Deion's a freak of nature.
Yes, for sure.
And he required, and you say what you want about him, but he was able to back a lot of that stuff up. And when you're part of that family, it's the burden you bear, brother, at some level. So it follows you. But I do think he's a good talent. I think that obviously eclipsed it and clearly impacted his draft there. But these young men, 200 and, how many picks are there? 200 and, that many. All of these young men have fought their entire lives and devoted their entire lives to get that moment for themselves, right? And there's a bunch of them that I feel like, deserve more attention, deserve more time. I think, I saw something going around online that Cam Ward's call wasn't even caught live because they were showing highlights. Shedeur highlights, you know what I mean? And so I just, it felt like a disservice to the rest of these young men that have devoted their lives, to the rest of these young men's families that have devoted their lives to get them through peewee, high school, college, all these things, to have their moment, to be eclipsed by one individual that just kind of sells tickets. Yeah. I get it. It's a business. So that was one thing as I'm watching it. I'm like, I'm interested by this too, man. But I'm also interested. I love the moment when you're hugging the mom, or you're dapping up your dad, right? And it's, give them these men who get that call, they've earned it, and give them their time. Yeah.
I kind of have two feels on this thing. One, I actually think it's more beneficial for Shedeur to be drafted where he got drafted, or later than the first round. Okay. Here's why. If you're drafted in the top 5, top 10, even first round, the first pick of a specific team, there's going to be pressure to be a star, to be the guy. And so as I'm watching him fall, I'm like, man, for him, if I'm him, I'm like, every round, every pick is just like, okay. All right, that's what we're, okay. Oh, okay.
That's what y'all think.
Oh, okay. And I'm just like, I'm using it. Fire. Log on the fire. And I'm like, now, as he keeps falling, I'm like, for him, there is no pressure. Now it's like, if he is a bust, well, that's why he was drafted late. If he goes out and plays well,
told y'all.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The pressure just went from astronomical, being drafted in the first, 5 picks, 10 rounds, or 10 picks first round, to all of a sudden the pressure just got deflated. I mean, there's no real pressure now, unless he unless he puts it on himself or keeps doing all the flashy stuff. So that's one side of me is like, man, this is actually going to be good for him in the long run, because he can there's not as much pressure, because being his dad's son and having the name is a lot of pressure. That being said, you look back at, I'm trying to do this as politically correct and just be as, because look back at when there's a video of him and Cam Ward working out, right?
Yep, seen it.
Shedeur was like, let's do a rap together.
Yeah.
And Cam's like, no, I'm just playing football. Right? there's something, Shedeur finally gets drafted in the 5th round. There's cameras all over him. Everyone's jumping. He's got the watches and and I mean, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
He throws. I didn't hear about anybody else throwing a huge draft party. Now I'm not saying they didn't.
Sure.
But he throws a star-studded draft party for the 5th round.
Yeah.
And now I'm not saying that there's not, because yes, I got drafted. I'm celebrating. No problem. I don't have an issue with that.
Right.
What I want to see is what's next. Is he going to be like, okay, appreciate y'all. Here's my da-da-da. Now get the heck away and let me go grind.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to find out.
I feel the same way. And I think a lot of people feel torn at that, right? Because it's like the life he's had because of his father's success in that specific career gives him opportunity to celebrate differently than some cats that are like, hey, we made it out. So I get that. That's like, that's not your fault that you have access to rappers and that want to celebrate you. They're friends with your pops and all that stuff. So one, there's that. And then you're like, nah, man, like it just feels 5th round, brother. Why you doing it?
I mean, I know. That's what I'm saying.
But I get it, dude.
I get it too. I understand. That's what I'm saying. I'm so torn on this and even talking about it, I don't know because I'm not trying to, because I want him to go be successful because I think it's a great story. I would love for him to be like, you know what? Thank you for all the hoopla, all the this, that, and the other. But now it's the unbelievable story will be if he's like, you know what? All this, I'm done with all that. I'm just going to work. And I don't want one camera on me. I don't want any hoopla. I am just all of a sudden, because he was a huge deal in college. Huge. NIL money through the roof. Dad is who he is. And he is a good football player.
Yeah.
I would love to see this. I mean, the story, could you imagine that comeback story of like 1st round pick, top number 1 overall pick, 5th round.
Yes.
Built back up to a Super Bowl check. Probably not the Browns, but
right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like that, the story,
I agree.
Could be amazing, but it's going to be on him to. He's got to do it. Like practice squad guy. Whatever it is. Like
in a world.
Yes. You got to have the whole thing. 5th round pick. From cameras to nothing, back to flat. Whatever it is. But I don't know. It's just I would be like. Just like I said, like, okay, all right, I see where y'all at. Check. Let me. And who did you pick? You picked. I would have wrote down every 143rd. What was he, 144 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
140. I'd know 143 picks. I'd have everybody's name. And I'd cross off every time I got you. Got you.
You have. I mean, listen. He's Mr. Pringles over there, just stacking chips on that shoulder.
Is he though?
Yeah, I think so, man. And I think so. As you're talking about, this is the most I've talked about Shedeur all weekend. So I'm like forming a belief system about it because you feel things, but you feel things through the lens that presented to you on social media, at least the way that I was watching this whole thing. And so, but what I can do, I think if I can exercise some of my wisdom, discernment, and grace is I can look at the fruit of his dad. I don't live the same way that those individuals live. But what I have seen, again, through the same lens, and I would give the benefit of doubt in, is that this man who is one of the greatest football players of all time has devoted his life to building up young men through the sport in which he loves. And if that's the product it produces, if that couldn't be the end result through all the stuff, what is he, 25? I'm not going to judge a 25-year-old.
Probably not even 25.
When I catch him mid-journey.
Yeah. No.
All right? I'm like, brother, do your thing. If your pops and the family that I've witnessed from a long distance away can produce that fruit where they're pouring into young men and they're using this for good and they're, from what I understand, he's a man of faith. Like those are all things that I support and all things I believe in. So Shedeur, I'm rooting for you, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
I just formed my belief system right now.
Absolutely rooting for him too. I think it's a great story and I think it's going to be a great story.
But if you play for a different team other than the Browns, I'll root for you so much more, bud.
I'll root for even more.
Yeah, I'm rooting for you. So, but it's a unique. But
I do hate a little bit too, like you said, that storyline took away from all these other young men getting. But it's bound to happen when it's been built up so much leading up to the draft, But and I feel bad for Shedeur too because I've sat there through 11 picks.
Yeah,
that was miserable. Which that's why I don't understand why there's so many guys go to the draft now. It used to be like 5 or 6 guys go, and you knew you were gonna be one of the top picks. And when I was sitting there, Aaron Rodgers was sitting there like waiting. You're the only one in the room like waiting. That's miserable. Now they got guys that there are a handful of guys that were at the draft that didn't even get picked on day one. It's
brother,
like, what are we doing?
You go back? What do you do? Like
go home.
Man, I don't know. I don't even have a frame of reference of what like a 1-for-1 would be in my life to where it's like,
I don't know. It's just a unique situation.
what a crazy,
anyway,
not like it's so crazy, especially I would imagine for a quarterback because you're so in control of the outcome a lot of times.
Yeah.
That you are literally not in control of how this thing goes.
No, you're not.
And it doesn't even it doesn't dictate your value. You know what I mean? Like, I should say it doesn't dictate your ability, right? What you are seeing is how subjective value is in that. So, dang, the draft. What a time to be alive.
I mean,
Look at us.
You know, I didn't look. Do you have the draft on your thing there? Who is Mr. Irrelevant this year? It's always fun to find who that is.
Went to the Patriots, I think.
I feel like the Browns should get the pick every year. Mr. Irrelevant just seems like that's a good pick for that team. No offense, guys. I'm just saying. I just love the story.
Pat's draft, Memphis DB Minor, something Minor. That's another story that I'm like, I'm rooting for that guy too.
Yeah. But, I mean, Brock Purdy might be, he's...
Kobe Minor.
Kobe Meyer. Okay.
Minor. Yeah.
All right, rooting for you, bub.
All right.
Rooting for you.
Yeah, which is like, what's so crazy about that is like, you get this tag and then there's like, I don't know how many people who don't go drafted and then sign afterwards and they don't get that stigma, but they got a phone call.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know, the Mr. Relevant gets like all kinds of stuff.
Really?
Like at one point, I don't know if they still do, but he got like a car, like gets all like it's like it's like a thing.
If you're in the 7th round, you're like, yo, send me to the end.
Yes, make me be the last guy, please. Yeah, it used to be like a big deal. Like you got all kinds of like swag.
Really?
And yeah.
Shoot.
I don't know if it's still that way or not.
They take applications? What's up? Like, I've been irrelevant my whole life. I've been training for this. Yeah, man. So,
right.
I mean,
more
what
draft Steeler stuff? What else got to talk about?
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. Just after that, what do you feel? How do you feel about the state of the Steelers now? Obviously, the TJ talks are still.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, I think he's got 1 year left, right?
But why wouldn't? Why wouldn't? Come on. Are they waiting to see if they got to pay Aaron?
I mean, maybe. I mean, Aaron said he would only play for $10 million. I don't know if that's true or not, but I truly don't know. That's why I'm not saying it. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately for TJ, I guess, you know, I don't know how many more years TJ has, to be honest. I'm just saying I don't know.
Yeah.
In terms of playing, how many he wants to play, how many can he play? You know, he plays a position that's a physical position.
He's a dad now?
He's a dad now.
Yeah.
He plays physical.
Yeah.
It's no secret that he's had injuries. So what's he have left? So the Steelers could be looking at it in the sense of, okay, we have 1 year left on his deal this year. He'll play this year. Maybe they're saying he only has 3 to 4 MVP caliber years. If that's the case, we got him for this year under the contract. We can franchise him next year, so he doesn't have a choice.
Sure.
So now we have him for 2 years.
But then you're kind of doing your star dirty.
Listen.
Come on now.
At the end of the day, this is a cutthroat business.
You're right.
I've seen them, and it's funny because when I got here, I've talked to veteran guys that they're like, oh, they're going to do everybody dirty at some point.
Sure.
I'm like, no, they would never do that to so-and-so. They would never. Sure enough. I don't think anybody is above the business at the end of the day.
Sure.
Okay. So it's like, yeah, is it right? No, it's not right to do them wrong. I'm not saying they're going to either. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, that's what I love talking to Charlie Batch about, is because he knows all this, the ins and outs and the nuances of this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, technically they have his rights for this, and they could franchise him once, and then they could franchise him another time. Now the price hike's going to go way up, but you can keep him then for 3, and there's just some things could happen. I would hope that they would find a way to get a deal done, but they may be looking at it like he only has 3 to 4 left. Do we really want to give him and he may be asking for 4 or 5 year deal. I have no idea.
Right.
Again, this is all total speculation. Just trying to throw a bunch of things out there. But I would think that they'd love to get him done. But you're right. You brought up a good point. It could be them waiting on Aaron, seeing what they have in terms of money there.
That's crazy to me. I get it.
I know.
I get it. I get the business. That is crazy to me. I think there's a difference in business versus brand, right? And it's like I know what you could do, but I think it's more important to do what you should do. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
And also, I think the Watts, we have not discovered this yet, and somebody needs to look into it. They might be robots. I think the Watts family is built a little bit different. Tej, I think you might be cyborg.
Especially
Derrick, clearly,
my guy.
He's AI generated. I've stood next to JJ Watt, and I thought, so that's what Vikings were back in the day.
For sure.
And I was like, it was...
No wonder they strike the fear of not even God then, because Vikings didn't believe in God.
Yeah, it felt well...
People they were coming after were scared.
Someone JJ Watt side make you believe real quick. Yeah, you want me like, you know what I mean? Like, so we're not asking that question either. Are the Watts AI generated? If that's the case, pay him what you want.
Yeah.
You know, but you make good points, man. I'm just a proponent of, come on, man, do the right thing.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for like the league year to kind of get started, because then you start to iron some of the stuff out. Get some answers on Aaron, get some answers on TJ. Let's get these young guys into camps. Let's see what they can do. Let's get some preseason going. I'm excited for this group. I'm excited for this year. Just because I'd like to, I'm excited. Like you said, I believe in what you're saying too about like, it feels like they're trying to go like, we got to get back to being the Steelers, man. And so I'm excited for the season. I'm excited to watch games on here, to talk about them, to have our guests talk about them. Like, I'm going to keep this book here so we can go back and look at it and be like, yeah, we told you or whatever. So, I'm excited for it.
We need somebody, I mean, some member of the family. You've called a lot of stuff this offseason.
Yeah.
Like,
I know
yo,
something
man,
about
like, I mean, and you're just riffing, dude. It's like you spent your whole life like in this
knowing something, but they don't ever listen to me anyway.
No.
Just keep going. I was going to have Merrill on here to talk about the draft, which would have been really cool because of insight. But unfortunately he had to run down back to Cincinnati. But yeah, it'll be fun. Again, I'm working on trying to get
some guests
on here in the next couple weeks, hopefully.
We got to do Merrill again this year. Merrill's such a great guest on this show. You two together, like football mega mind over there.
Oh, it's a lot of fun with him. I mean, he does talk a lot, but it's fun.
Yeah, well, luckily podcast, that's kind of the whole point, right?
So keep in tune, guys, because again, if I can pull this off, I've got a potential double guester coming. A potential double. I think I can get at least one of them, but if I can get two of them at the same time, it'd be pretty cool.
Tag team champions of the world?
Maybe, you'll never know. So
I'll never tell.
If we can get that, that'd be fun coming up. We'll see how soon we can do it, but that'd be fun to get that done. And just kind of keep this thing rolling into the season. I am really excited for the season, to be honest.
Me too, man.
We should do more. We should do a couple like extra watch-alongs this year.
Whatever you want, man. I think that's awesome. I agree. I think probably
fun.
You want to do some live ones this year? Try to.
I would love that. I would love. It'd be. I mean, I don't know if the people love it or not, but like having James, like to watch a game live, like to do that whole thing is so much fun. We need CBS to find a way to pull through.
Yeah, CBS,
and do like a live stream on their actual channel, so y'all can watch it at the same time with us.
I don't know if we can. I guess we already did. Whatever. We tried to do that for you this year, guys.
Yeah, they just didn't.
We got hung up. Yeah, but
Bob Pump didn't let it happen. No, I was joking, Bob.
Bob Pompiani stopped us, man.
And now, your chef.
Oh, my brother.
You okay? Come on. Why are you breathing so hard? You watching Cops?
No, when I concentrate, I tend not to breathe.
Oh, did you see that? Oh, he's lost Spence. His mic's not.
What a properly placed reference. Let's just stop and appreciate.
No, only certain people get that one.
No.
Hey.
The real ones.
Do you see what's behind you?
Whoa! Hey! Can I touch it?
Congratulations, brother.
Hey, do you want to do a family break or?
Yeah. I got it this time.
We're not ready for that yet.
Yeah, okay.
Wait till you're
I was going to go down just on purpose.
Yeah, that's for the family.
Check it out, dude.
100,000.
Hold it.
Am I allowed to touch it?
Yeah, you can. We were hoping.
Please put on the white gloves, though.
Do you know what?
I'm kidding.
Do you know what we were really hoping for, Evan?
What?
Can you guess?
This is a lot lighter.
Yeah, they did new ones.
No, act like it's really heavy. We were hoping that you came down here and hit the table and like knocked off and broke it. Like that would have been kind of like funny though.
You want to take it from one and try it?
My kids would be proud.
Yeah, look at
They
that.
should be. That's
at
a
that.
major award for Gile.
You did it, bud.
Fragile.
Honestly, you're kind of the reason you put us over.
Please fall.
No.
Please fall.
Yeah.
No, don't fall.
All right, Evan. Sorry.
All right, that's
before
okay.
we get into your thoughts on the draft, please explain what we're eating here because I am so hungry. People always I'm always hungry.
Yeah. Well,
6'5", bud.
Yeah, that's what I mean,
You're
like-
you're allowed to eat.
Let's start with these
I
things.
got
here.
you.
yeah, those are the paper towels and plates.
Plates and napkins.
Yeah. And what is this? A bounty?
right.
Is this more of a bounty?
Okay. What
Yes.
do we have?
Quicker picker upper?
No, it's brawny.
Brawny?
Yeah.
Cool
We got
sponsorship.
some tacos today.
Yeah.
These three right here are for Spence because I didn't put any chorizo in his.
Thank you, sir.
And those three towards the top are yours. So we have a smoky orange chicken. So it's
Oh,
like,
that sounds interesting.
yeah. And then there's a steak, honey, jalapeno, and then a shrimp and chorizo. And then you have a pineapple salsa. You have like a hot tomato salsa.
Is it hot?
It is hot.
Like
Not like hot, but it's hot. And there's some
does it
jalapenos
make
there.
you sweat?
Yeah.
Okay, but
they'll-
everything makes you sweat.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Thinking, walking, speaking. It doesn't take much.
Okay.
There's that sweaty guy again. It's not even doing anything. Queso and some slaw.
Yeah.
It's got, some healthy stuff in there.
That's
Oh, yeah. You can
I
see
told you
the
that's how
health.
Evan helps me and the kids. Most of the kids and me.
And here's the
Me
healthy stuff.
He's like, he'll be like, he won't tell us. We'll eat mashed potatoes. Like, oh, these potatoes are so good. He's like, those are actually cauliflower. I'd be like this.
Yeah, but there's 40 pounds of butter in it. So it tastes
The butter and the
delicious.
cauliflower kind of offset each other, so it's like eating air at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah, there you go.
Okay. So, Evan,
Yes.
thank you for this.
You're welcome.
Spence, while I talk to Evan real quick,
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-3. 2-3. Michael Jordan, MJ.
Yeah, that's good.
2-3 for my last
Nice. That's good.
Can you? So we kind of went through the draft.
Yeah.
Just kind of talking about it. Before we start anything, can you please just give me your overview? Just your, someone's like, hey, come on, man, you got 1 minute. Tell me about the draft. Like, what is your thoughts on the draft? What do you think? And blah blah blah.
I liked it. I didn't think there was much reaching. I thought, players sort of fell to where we needed them to be, or they were at that position. It wasn't, as a Steelers fan, it wasn't like overly exciting. It was a bit more like comfortable, and
You were bored.
not bored, but this feels right. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
it wasn't like, okay, we're trading up to get this guy that, take a flyer on so-and-so and we don't really know much about him. So, I thought that it was a decent draft. I'm happy with the first pick and the running back. There isn't any pick that I think I was like, I don't know if we need that or, anything of that nature. So overall, I give it a B+.
So I don't know anything about the running back. He's a big physical back. Like, that's what I saw when he does a fumble.
Yeah.
What'd you say? You gave me some news earlier.
I don't.
You don't want to say it?
He kind of runs like Najee Harris, but not with jeans on like Najee does. Najee was a powerful
Naj,
guy.
please come out.
Listen,
Naj?
he could just pound me into the ground right here, but I'm just relaying information.
You
that I
thought Naj ran like he had jeans on?
Listen, I thought Najee was
You're just reporting the news, as Tom would say.
correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's all hearsay at this point. But I thought Najee was good. I thought he was powerful, and I thought that he had his moments, but he didn't have like that breakaway speed. And I think that the perfect combination is having that power back and also having that speed back too, because I'm a big believer of the like when we had Jerome Bettis, he would be the hammer, and then you got Willie Parker as the speed, so on and so forth, and I like that dynamic personally, but I'm not a coach, or I have to put that disclaimer out there. No. I know it seems by my vast football knowledge
You could
that
coach.
it's like
Sure.
he coached somewhere.
coach.
A lot of Madden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, coach.
Yeah, basically. Why not?
Coaching robots at that
coaching.
point.
Yeah, you make your
Coaching.
team and everything. I made myself as a coach, so
Yeah.
I'd love-
you make yourself
create a
look.
coach.
you can create the coach's name
You
and
make him
Avatar?
look just like you.
you can take like a picture of your face in the game now, and it kind of like.
So you actually put your face.
I did not.
seems like
Not
too
for that. No, for baseball I did.
That seems like too much.
No, it's. I mean, you're already sitting there. You might as well take a picture. At that point,
Seems too much.
What's your coach's name?
Evan.
Coach Evan?
Yeah,
What's your last name though?
Morrison.
Really? I thought it was going to be like something like Ace.
No,
Yeah. Thundercat. Evan Thundercat.
Kevin Playbook, you know. No, but I'd love to be a coach, but mainly because, like, if I wasn't a chef, I'd want to be some sort of a coach, or, and this one's going to make people laugh probably, but a golfer, but only because I love the clothes. Like, put me in as a head coach, and you're telling me I get to wear like track pants every day and like comfortable shirts.
You can do that though.
I understand, but it's not like as easy. People aren't like, here's your tracksuit for today. It's
you don't get free tracksuits. That's true.
Oh, you want free tracksuits?
I'm just saying.
You want free tracksuits?
I'm not looking.
Brother, I like a
I
free.
guess we'll find some football and tracksuits.
I like a free tracksuit too.
Does this make
You
me
want
look
Adidas
bad?
with the white stripes on the side?
I'm not picky.
Yeah.
Russell, I'll take Russell. It doesn't matter.
Well,
Starter.
It's a nice brand. Starter. It's
Soul
coming
Starter
back.
jacket with
The old-
starter
With the
jacket.
zipper in the middle?
Those
I had a
mean,
Charlotte
bro.
Hornets one.
Did you? I had a
Yeah.
Florida State Seminoles
Two-tone?
one.
Yeah, the two-tone?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
And the
beautiful.
Steelers one.
It had,
Those were
had
the
the
days.
zipper with the starter on it that if you had it up too high, it'd bounce and hit you in the mouth and
Yep.
chip your tooth.
It's real.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to do jobs based on the clothes that they give you for free at the job? Is
I
what you're
mean,
saying?
that came out.
Pretty accurate.
People know me
Yeah.
enough already to know that like
You are a sneaker snob.
I'm kind of like
you are a sneakerhead.
No snob.
squirrel minded. You know,
Yeah.
like I bounce around to different things.
Do you golf?
I do.
Okay.
Not very well.
Yeah. Who does? Yeah, I know that doesn't count. He's a professional
Yeah.
athlete. That doesn't
Yeah.
even count.
I
That's
mean-
the thing. I've been asked that.
Yeah.
Like I've been golfing. Who makes these microphones?
How the turntable.
Deep cut. Deep
Yes.
cut.
That was twice.
Yeah, like I've
like
I've
a
been
cat
golfing
over
with
here.
people, and they're like, "Hey, man, is Ben a good golfer?" I'm like, "Yes, you can make up a game today, and he'd beat you at it."
Right.
Yeah. And he's like, "You ever go golfing with him?" I'm like, "No, I'm so bad. I'm not allowed to play with one of my best friends in the entire world."
Well, I mean, I'm sure you'd want to go for the experience, but at the same time,
No.
it's like,
It's to the point where I'm like, "Hey guys, you go ahead, man, play through." Like you're in
we're
our
playing with you.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I gotta clean my club.
Don't remember me like this.
You guys are too much.
No,
Tell
that's,
me more. What last?
Tell me more.
Last two things quickly.
Okay, sorry.
No.
I'm not sorry then. I apologize.
No,
I don't.
I'm very
Jack
intentional.
Sawyer, Will Howard.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the Jack Sawyer pick. I do. I think he's an animal. Oh no! That's
You're.
I have some.
Are you gonna call him Captain Jack if you see
There you
him?
go.
Yeah. You know, he gets fired up, and I like those players that are, you know, like,
Steeler. He's a Steeler, right?
that's what I mean. Like just he gets fired up, and he just gets out there and sort of like TJ Watt-esque in his, you know, his energy. Energy. I'm
You're
not
saying
comparing.
Jack Sawyer's TJ Watt.
I knew that was going to happen. Why do I even?
That's
Listen. You know
Sorry,
what?
Tej.
All right. How are the tacos?
Yeah. Well, they were good.
They were good.
They were good until I
You
said
like
that.
Will Howard?
I do like Will Howard. I think he's
Ben
a,
2.0?
he's a good sized man, and you know,
Wow. Might cut that one out.
again,
What?
what is this?
Brother, this is you.
I
This
don't
is
know.
Evan's corner, and we're here for it. Continue. He is a good sized man, as you were saying.
I
Cut
just
that one out,
mean
too.
no, like height wise,
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
he's built like a decent quarterback. I would think. You know, there's other quarterbacks I know that are, you know, like that I don't personally know, but I
Wow.
do personally know one. I'm done.
Little, like you said, little guys.
No, I just think that he's got that quarterback look, and he's got a decent arm, and so I mean, we'll see. That's it. I don't have any
What do you think
more.
about quarterbacks like under 6 foot?
Doug Flutie.
The Flutie Flakes.
Yep.
Hey. Evan, thank you for your insight as always. Thank
I
you for
mean,
your food.
I don't know.
Congratulations on the family.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Congrats on the plaque, my brother.
Here it is. After that, like,
Break us down, Ev.
okay. Family on three. One.
Thanks, Coach.
Family on three. 1, 2, 3. Family. There it is. I knew it.
I was gonna see where you went. There you go, coach. That's all you. Yeah, game ball. Take the game ball.
Unbelievable.
We're gonna give you a golden spatula.
Unbelievable.
Thanks, Evan.
Enjoy.
You good?
He's just bagging everything on the way out.
It's embarrassing.
He's still on camera. That's
Please take your time. Take your time. You're good.
You're still in the shot, coach.
It's like, go ahead, finish up.
Always wanted to be on camera. All right, tell me this last one. I'm not going to enjoy.
All right. No, this is great. It's called Bear Walker.
Bear Walker.
It's a ale brewed with maple syrup. It's from Jackalope Brewing Company.
Jackalope.
Yeah, that's you brought these in, right?
Ashley knows about jackalopes. I showed her one before.
Yeah. The can got me. You think?
It's pretty good. It's not bad.
Bear walker.
It's weird to go from that freaky squeezy to this, but it's good.
Yeah, you good. I mean, listen, we're hitting all.
Yeah, that's fine.
I tried to give the Buckeyes to him, and then I ripped the hook
you
out.
broke my thing. It's
Yeah, clearly.
Whatever. All right, Spence.
All right, man. Well, it's been a solid episode.
Well, before we finish,
Yeah.
I'm going to take a break from eating. Not a long one, though.
Yeah, well, I'll tag in.
Just because I think it's important. I want to hit this real quick. So this weekend we were
Yeah, I was gonna ask
in
you.
for the family dinner. I know we got to hit this. We were up in Banff, Canada. Ash and I went up there with a group called Illuminations. And Illuminations is an amazing organization that if you don't know about it, you should look into it and get behind it. Basically what they do, I know you know this, Spence, but I'm kind of telling the people, is they basically their goal is to end Bible poverty, right? Okay. So there are over 2 billion people in the world that don't know or have never heard of the Bible, Jesus, God, the gospel, anything. They know nothing. And that's just not really fair. for people that are believers like us that know that that's, how you get into heaven is having a relationship and knowing Jesus Christ. And those guys, not those guys, there's 2 billion people in the world that have no clue. Okay, so this organization was started not even that long ago, and they needed to, basically raise money to translate the Bible into native languages. There are, and I can't even start to begin to give you numbers because they won't be accurate. But you can go on their website, figure it out. There's like thousands of different languages. Okay, so and not just languages, but dialects. Right, so Spanish is a broad stroke, right? But then there's dialects of Spanish, or name it, right? Sign language Bibles. So there's lots of different things. So and what they do is they call it their heart language. Okay, so I could, in America, it's English, right? There's not really different dialects of English. There's you call like Southerners, but that's not really a dialect. You know what I'm saying? Sure. But like Spanish, for instance, just because it's an easy one to think of. There's a lot of people that speak Spanish. And so if I were to give a person from, like, say, Guatemala, a Bible, a Spanish Bible, they could read it and maybe understand certain things, but like words might be a little different. Sure. Right? Like, for instance, some people, especially in Canada, for instance, they call a bathroom a washroom. Right. They call it a bathroom. Little cultural nuances, right? So what they want to do is they want to translate the Bible in their heart language, what really connects with them. They're like, for instance, what I thought was interesting is, there's and obviously you'll know this better than me. There's a passage in the Bible about building your house on rocks, right? Not the sand because it's stronger, right? Well, there are certain tribes of people that build their houses in trees. That is what they do. So if you gave them a Bible that says, build my house on the rocks, to them, that's no good. Right. So it's going to translate the Bible to, because really it's not about necessarily building on a rock. We know that, right? It's about the rock of Jesus. Yeah. It's a metaphor. Building on what is the most stable. To these people, the most stable is a tree. Yeah. So you'd have to translate it in a way that they could understand it.
Kind of like what Eugene Peterson did with The Message. It gets a lot of flack, the Message translation, because it was like layman language for English, but the one-for-one comparison I'm seeing is like The Message versus King James. Yes. Both English. Right. You know what I mean?
And so what they were doing is they're trying to translate it to every nation, right? Because that's what it says, like in Revelation, in a certain place, like every nation, tongue, tribe will stand before the throne, da-da-da. Well, it can if not every nation, tongue, and tribe has an opportunity. Sure. So this organization is presenting opportunities to get the Bible. So it's not just about the money to do it. It's about finding people that will translate or that are the ability to translate, right? Because it's not like I'm gonna go find this person. Hey, can you translate? It doesn't work like that, right? And there's certain countries where translating the Bible is death. Yeah, you can't. There were people that spoke that hadn't talked to their family in 10 years because they chose to translate the Bible and they separated from their family and the translating the Bible and living for Christ was more important than actually being with their wife and children. Now, since then, their wife and children have come to Jesus, which is awesome, of course. It's what God will do. But just like all this stuff, now they're doing like even audio, so people that can just hear it now in their own native tongue. So they're putting it on.
That's cool.
And so it's like, okay, the first thing we're doing is we're trying to translate the Gospels. That's the first thing. Then it's like New Testament. Then the final goal is the whole Bible, right? It's like, if we can get just like John to somebody or, the Gospels, that's
Off a book,
the most important. So anyway, that's what this company did, this organization did. And it was so much fun to be there with some amazing people. And this organization basically, when it started, and it's only been like, I want to say 8-10 years. I'm messing with how long. It's not been that long. They said that they were going to have the Bible translated in about 100 years.
Jeez.
Which is like, okay, at the end of the day, it's not bad.
Yeah.
They have, in the last, again, 8 years, knocked that down to where they are on track to do it in 2033.
Wow.
Like our generation has a chance to see Bible poverty eradicated.
Like to every...
That's every nation, every tongue, every tribe. That is a complete translated. That's no one's left without a Bible in their heart language, not just the broad, language, the heart language. And so it was so cool to hear testimonies and stories and hear people speak. We got the, Michael Chandler spoke and
Matt Chandler?
I said Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler, UFC fighter.
My bad.
If he spoke,
Matthew
what he
Chandler
talking about?
spoke. There were just some really amazing people that spoke.
Chandler was there?
He was there.
My guy.
And got to hang out with Jeremy Camp a lot and his wife, Adie, who is in Ashley's seminary. And I was with Jeremy Camp a lot. And we did tease Bart a lot, and he got jealous. But
did you guys hit the gym together? Jerry can't live. That boy
he
lives.
is. But what an awesome dude. Jeremy is a great guy. Led worship a bunch.
Cool, man.
Francesca Balastelli, they say it.
Oh,
She was there. It was a really, really special event. We got to hang out a lot with some really cool people. The guy that started the U Bible app.
YouVersion, yeah.
YouVersion.
Yeah.
There's at the end of this year, it's going to be some really cool thing that's going to happen with them. Like the amount of them in the world are spectacular.
Love it.
Hung out with Sadie and Christian Huff, which is Sadie Robertson.
Oh, yeah.
We were with them a lot. Christian is an awesome dude. And Sadie and Ashley got to talk a lot. They're awesome people. So just a lot of really, really good people. They raised $40 million this weekend. And this was like a small, this was only 100, 150 people, like small donor. This is like their, donor. They had some business people come in, and the other person that's in charge. So it's Todd Peterson, who is an ex-kicker in the NFL, and Mark Green, who is Mr. Green Hobby Lobby's son.
Oh yeah,
those are the two guys that kind of started this thing. So you've got some organizations, some people that were in there. It's just fun to get to hang out with all those people. So anyway, that's my soapbox pitch for Illuminations and where we were this week. And just Ashley and I. Going to Banff, never been there before. Beautiful place, and you've been there and told us about it. So, that's something that we really feel strongly about getting behind, Ashley and I, because at the end of the day, and this may sound awful, but you can support like homelessness, you can support people that don't have food or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, we're called to share the gospel and to get people to Jesus, the Great Commission. That should be goal number one, and that's what Chandler and some of the other people says. I'm not trying to make this sound bad, but all other organizations really should be secondary to getting the gospel to people, getting the Bible to people, because that's what gets them to heaven. Giving them food, that's great. I'm not saying that's not right, but getting people to know Jesus is what it should be about.
100%, man. Yeah, and that's obviously a more nuanced conversation that you can dive in depth. But that's,
for sure,
yeah.
I always want people to check out Illuminations.
Yeah.
Just go check it out. It's what the cool thing is. Sorry, one last thing.
Yeah, dude.
Is it's actually like 12 organizations that all were doing the same thing that came on that decided to put egos and like they're all doing the same thing. It's like
that's a miracle in and of itself.
Why are we not working together?
Yeah, dude.
So now it's all under the umbrella of Illuminations.
Yeah.
But you have like these, and one organization, like they had I think it was 10 or 12 people got up there. The people of their organization, they'd be like, I'm so-and-so, my organization is this. We have 37 employees.
Yeah.
I'm so-and-so, my organization has 2,000 employees.
Sheesh.
You know what I'm saying? And everyone went down the line and said their employees and where they're serving. And it just was so cool to see them all come together for one cause.
I love that.
Which doesn't happen a lot.
No, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a miracle in and of itself to be able to do that, even within the faith community, man. Because that's awesome. I'll talk to you more about it because I'm super intrigued on that. But that's awesome, dude.
But anyway.
Stoked for you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Leave us your thoughts on the draft or any of the stuff that Ben's talking about during the family dinner. If you guys are aware of Illuminations or questions, go check them out. I'll link some stuff in the description below. But other than that, we appreciate you. And we'll see you next week. Hopefully, we got some fun stuff coming. Oh, we're doing the cookbook. That is underway.
It's underway.
Stay
You
plugged
and
in.
Evan are working hard.
Yeah.
I'm working hard on eating it.
Yeah. Well, that's my favorite part is that it's just me and Evan producing this. And after I photograph it, I eat it. And that's really what he wants tracksuits. Dude, I'll work for food. That's the only reason why I do this show is because there's tacos that show up randomly. But we appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. What else you got for him, Sam?
See you when we see you, or we'll see you another time. Later, Jeremy.